With the IPO behind it, free markets continued to grow at an incredible rate. But the stock price was extremely volatile, and the company went through enormous changes as it looked toward the future.
We were chugging. I mean, we were hitting on all cylinders. This stuff was selling now. People were executing. People happy. Customers were happy. We were putting up great numbers for the customers and savings, and so the last thing you wanted was to derail that kind of momentum operationally because of an IPO. An IPO is just an event in time over the history of a successful company.
As we started to professionalize and had a strategy function and a financial function and a marketing function and a product management function and a product development function, Sam left. Sam used to work across all those areas very fluidly. If there was a product development problem, Sam would jump into it. If there was a product management problem, defining what we needed for customers, he'd jump into it. If there was a strategy problem, he would jump into it. He was sort of surrogate CFO for a while. He ran the IPO process. So when things were small and entrepreneurial and very fluid, and we didn't have staff, Sam was a one-man band. He could do it all. He's a great entrepreneur.
Once you go public, it demands a very different kind of executive management. It demands someone who's comfortable being on the treadmill of delivering the quarterly numbers and communicating with Wall Street. And it didn't take me long, going through the IPO process itself to actually just, discover that I don't really like that. I don't. There was certainly. I went through my periods of dissonance when I wasn't sure that the analysts on Wall Street were telling us to do things that were actually in the best interest of our business and our customers.
Another free fall for free markets. Its stock battered for the second straight day.
Once the tech recession really started to hit, 2000, 2001, the tech recession wasn't really clear. We were suffering a lot of, we were growing very rapidly, right? So 2000 was that 99 million in revenue. 2001, despite all the problems, it was 155 million in revenue and fees total. 2002, 182 revenue and fees total. So we just, again, 1999 was only 23 million, 1998 was only 8 million. By 2002, we're 182 million. So we really fulfilled the promise. We blew away the original business plan in terms of the scale of that ramp. And the size of the ultimate business, but we also just, we failed to come up with the strategic pill to solve the strategic problem of how would we keep growing if our core stopped growing so fast and if we suffered a lot of competition. We did a great job serving our customers. We did a great job of continuing to grow, but we didn't necessarily solve the strategic problem.
I think free markets really, to the great credit of the leadership team, was able to maintain a level of sanity and objectivity during the height of the internet hubris that I think many companies fell prey to, losing sight of what was really important. I think Glenn and Dave and Sam and many others did a very good job of generally keeping people focused on the right things. The real challenge for our business, it actually is a challenge still today, is building the momentum across the globe for this transformation that's taking place in the procurement function. And Glenn and Sam were early visionaries in terms of defining how negotiation could be done differently online, how sourcing could be done differently online. And we're continuing that transformation today. And despite the fact that we now have hundreds of customers that have bought into that vision, there are still thousands that have not. So we are still at the tip of the iceberg in terms of building momentum across the global market.
The entire global economy has been affected by this idea of dynamic price online markets across the internet. So we've had this profound, radical, revolutionary impact for the good on the global economy. So we knew it was going to be revolutionary. We knew it was a high-flying technology startup. And you know what? The nature of that beast is not to be controlled by a founder. You got it. It's like a child. It's going to have to be a successful adult. It's going to have to go on its own. And so that's the way I've always looked at it. And every step of the way, I've just let the child have more and more freedom. And I think the ultimate step wasn't even this, certainly trusting another management team, selling it to Ariba is sort of the ultimate step. But stepping back and just becoming executive chairman, a year and a half ago, and having, Dave McCormick succeed me, that was, that was sort of the final big step in sort of saying, hey, this thing can fly without me.
I know that there are many customers who look back on their experience with free markets as a defining point in their career, and a defining point in their careers going on a different trajectory, and in them delivering enormous value to their organizations. I think within free markets, there are many of us, and myself certainly included, that look at this as one of the defining moments in our careers and in our professional lives, in the sense that we've had an opportunity to work with such an array of terrific people, and we've been able to learn so much.
What strikes me as I think about the place in the past in general is really just how special the experience has been with the individuals, with the people that have crossed paths with over the period of time that we've been here, and the leadership and the extent to which they surrounded themselves just with people that are so smart and so passionate.
What makes free markets unique is that my company's had 300 years of trading history, the Royal Bank of Scotland. And over the last 3 years, we've changed more than the previous 297 years. And that's a lot to do with the relationship we've got with free markets, and a lot personally to do with the relationship with Glenn.
Survivor, winner, it's because of the people, not of the technology. I can always go out and buy some technology, but I can't go out and buy the know-how or the people that know how to run it.
We created an amazing set of career opportunities for an amazing group of people.
This has been just a fabulous, formative experience. We've just produced, I think, so many great people as a result of this period in our business. I feel totally privileged and totally changed as a person and a professional as a result of being a part of that environment. And I just, it's hard to imagine a better career experience at this stage of life. I'm still dwarfed by how great an experience that was.
I'm extremely lucky to have met Glenn. I'm extremely lucky to have been, on his list of people that he wanted to be involved in this. I think we complemented each other wonderfully well. Glenn, I always joke about Glenn and to Glenn that Glenn doesn't have the enzyme in his body that's the risk receptor. He just doesn't perceive risk. He's an entrepreneur that, there was no denying him. There was, nothing was going to stop him from succeeding in this.
If I'm home a year from now, sitting on the couch and the phone rings and it's Glenn, and he says to me, Dave, I've got a terrific idea. I'll shut the ball game off or whatever, and I'll say, Glenn, what do you got?
I think the thing I'm most proud of is that we were able to build this company. As I drive in every morning or leave every night and see the free market sign on top of Free Market Center, that to me symbolizes the fact that we built a really important company. So I'm really proud of the people. The fact that we were able to build a company that brought all these great people together, and that so many people spent part of their lives here and learned a lot in building free markets, learned a lot from each other, gained something in experience, gained something financially, gained spouses, whatever. That whole, we're able to have children. I mean, the whole idea that we built a company big enough and successful enough that a whole bunch of incredibly talented people came together in this office in Pittsburgh and in other offices around the world as part of free markets, and actually put their lives into it, and really, I think that that set of relationships between those people, that network of people, will exist as long as we all exist. We'll survive the rest of our lifetimes.